Just because something is ordinary, it doesn't mean that it is not significant. Our lives are made of little tales of small things that made all the difference. It is so easy to overlook them and let them slip into silence and ask what's next, like none of it has ever happened. Sometimes I need to stop and remember the things that I don't want to forget, because if I don't remember them, no one will. Where was I? From across the road, I can see the man. With his back leaning to the wall of the church, his arms are embracing his bent knees and pressing them into his chest. His weight is resting on his feet underneath his ball-like figure, keeping him away from the icy ground. The sidewalk is busy with people passing him by. I take a deep breath. I'm somewhat nervous. I hope he's in the mood to talk. I hope he wouldn't mind me invading his privacy. I hope he recognizes my face. I hope he remembers the girl with the Christmas presents from a few weeks ago. One thing's for sure. I do remember. How could I forget? The smell of Christmas cakes filling our warm kitchen as my mom got them out of the oven. One after the other all afternoon to a point where there was no place to put them. Or the fun we had with my neighbor Sabina, arranging the gift parcels together every now and then, whispering prayers of blessings for the people who will receive them. Or being awake all night writing the Christmas concert invites with sparkly red and green gel pens. Once they were all done, I placed them next to the little Gideon Bibles. Oh God, help me tell these people that they are not forgotten. Help me tell them that you know them by name. Help me tell them that you love them. Or how could I forget the morning when Sabina and I finally got the chance to roam the streets of our city and seek out the people who had no other place but the cold winter streets to call home. They all had thankful hearts or a few kind blessings in return, or blazing joy in their tear-filled eyes. I noticed how quickly they put aside the gifts and clang on every kind word that have left our lips. And they said they will come to the concert, but in the end, none of them did. And that is why I am here. Why would I wait till next Christmas to talk to them again? Kindness is not limited for 2 days a year. The man across the street starts to stir, stretching his legs as he rises. Oh no, he's leaving. I try to cross the street, but the cars won't slow down to give way. I raise my hand and just about to shout for him to wait, but thankfully the sound doesn't leave my lips. Because he's not leaving. He just goes to the church garden to... well, I don't know, and I don't really want to. I quickly pop down my hand, turn back, and start walking the opposite direction. My face is flushed while waiting. I pop into a shop. Well, it is not his fault. When nature calls, you must go, I defend him. With that, I buy an apple and a baguette. By the time I step out of the shop, the man has took his old post by the church wall. Okay, let's do this, I encourage myself. And I think it's probably best to leave my gloves on. I take a deep breath and cross the street. Hello, I say and offer him my baguette and apple. He raises his hand to take it and responds with a quiet, "Thank you." My name is Krista, I introduce myself. What is yours? He lifts his bright blue eyes to meet mine. His red, weathered face is partly hidden by his overgrown beard. His hat is pulled down to his eyebrows. It is quite impossible to guess his age, but I don't think he is more than 50. I smile at him to show that I mean no harm. It's Charlie. He returns my smile. I quickly realize that Charlie and I have never met. He hasn't received one of my Christmas presents, nor a Bible or an invitation. Well, I am here now. After spending a few minutes talking about how cold this winter is, I ask him, "Charlie, do you believe in God?" "Oh yes, I do. Even last night I had a knife and I wanted to end it all, but I couldn't. I just couldn't do it. I looked up at the sky and I knew God wanted me to live. He makes me carry on." I stare at him with bewildered eyes. "Yes, Charlie, you were right, and I am glad you didn't do it." God knows you by name and He loves you. Do you have a Bible? I ask him. No, I don't, he replies. Well, I could bring you one if you wanted, and don't worry, it's free. I have many of them. He nods his head in response. Whew, it's really cold, isn't it? I say. I am chilled to my bones. He nods his head again in agreement. Well, the nights are worse. I have to keep walking if I don't want to freeze. Last night there was a passing snowstorm. I had to cover myself with a big plastic sheet and hid under a tree branch. But I couldn't sleep a blink. That's when I turned to my knife, but then I'm glad now as well that I didn't do it. Could you not go to a homeless shelter for the night? I ask him. Oh no, they steal. Last time they stole my shoes. No, I would rather walk the roads than to go there. We chatted a little while longer, then I said my goodbyes and we parted. The next time I went to see him, I got him a small Gideon Bible. He was very happy to see me again and thanked me for the Bible and the little lunch bag I prepared for him. We chatted a bit more, and every time I prepared to leave, he quickly came up with a new subject, like a little kid who doesn't want to go to sleep at night. But while I was there, his blue eyes sparkled with joy and happiness, so I stayed a bit longer. The third time I went to see him, I could see his grinning face from far away as his head was turned into the direction where he expected my arrival. I leaned to the wall, slid my back down on it and sit on my bag. I embraced my bent knees in order to try to keep myself warm. Hi, I smile and give him a lunch bag. Thank you, he says. I got you something as well. He's looking for something in the inner pocket of his coat. I found it while walking, he adds, while still searching. I thought you might like it. It is in perfect working order. One of my mates wanted to buy it off me, but I want you to have it. Then he hands me a little, flat, plastic, foldable traveling clock. It is really pretty, I tell him. But you really shouldn't give it to me. You should sell it, you know. No, he says, I want you to have it. You gave me something I was missing for years, and I am very happy. What have I gave you to make you happy? I asked him. Then I think of the little Bible, but his answer was different. You gave me something to look forward to, he said. The day goes by a lot quicker because I think maybe you will come. Even if you don't or can't, I know that you will at some point. You will come, and I very much look forward to see you and talk to you. His words bring tears to my eyes. Nobody was ever looking forward to my company like Charlie did. I tried to visit him as often as possible. We became friends. He told me about his life and his family, and I told him about mine. I talked to him about the challenges of high school, and he talked to me about the challenges of living on the street. I got him reading glasses and food, and he got me little treasures he found while walking around. I shared with him the messages I heard on Sundays in church. He enjoyed them, and every time I invited him to come, he said he might come, but he never did. One day I asked him about it. Charlie, I was looking for you on Sunday, but you didn't come. Again, I talked to people about you. They're looking forward to meet you. If you don't want to come, just tell me now, so that I wouldn't get my hopes up. It's not that, he said quietly. I went a few times, but when I got there, before I would go in, I changed my mind. You see, I stink. I can't wash my clothes often because it takes ages to dry. I wouldn't like if all those nice people would have to stand the stench of me, he said. Oh, Charlie, they don't care. You should come. And this time, he did. And he was right. On the street in the open, I could easily adjust to him with the fresh cold wind filling my lungs, but the smell of his clothes in a closed, warm environment was nearly unbearable. I had to breathe through my mouth to stand it somewhat, but he was so conscious of himself and felt so uncomfortable that I felt sorry for him. The people were very kind, but as soon as the church service was over, he was gone. The winter turned into spring, and I came up with an idea. Hey Charlie, I got an idea, and you could help me with it. Sure, what is it? Well, I would like to give you a spring makeover. Only if you wouldn't mind, we could make a whole day of it. What do you say? Yes, I don't mind. So I took him to the hairdresser, and he got a nice haircut and his beard trimmed. My mom got him nice clean clothes and a new coat. He looked like a different man. We took pictures of us together and him posing in the park, and I made him a little album from the photos. He loved them and showed it to all his friends. He decided to go to a homeless shelter and shower there regularly to keep clean. And then he said he would like to come to church with me on Sunday. And he did. I couldn't help but smile as we sat next to each other, listening to the sermon. On Charlie's other side, there sat a university student. Next to her, a midwife. Next to her, a petrol station owner. Next to him, a retired grandma. We sat there and listened to the same message about the one who knows each and every one of us by name.